What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about B3 today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. Here we are at 0.0032958 right now on this, the 15th of April. About 2 hours left in the day, 2 hours, 11 minutes. We're coming up on the end of the day here, and we're at phenomenal prices to buy, man. I want to actually look at B3 here and see B3 base, yeah. $70 million market cap. Not a tremendous amount of volume, but still decent volume, you know, on a $70 million market cap. I mean, $5 million in a 24-hour period is not bad. Not that volume's everything, but it helps, right? 8%, that's desirable. So anyways, here, even at these low areas of kind of just boringness day to day, you're still showing desirable volume, desirable interest potentially is how you could interpret that. And we are looking, in my opinion, as though we are near the end of this downtrend, if not at it. Now, it's very possible, I want to just, speak bluntly, it's very possible that we do go below this low, and this is not the low itself for B3. We absolutely could go lower. We take a low, that's not the low, but let's get the low on there. This low to high here, and that is at the 1618. We found resistance at the 1272. Oftentimes, this kind of maneuver is not friendly, you guys, and does take us to the 1886 to 200 level. So it's something that we should be aware of. A move down like that could come in the form of a wick, and then we close our body up here, something like that, get a slightly lower low on a closing basis with a higher low in the RSI, provide bullish divergence at the low, and then see a rapid recovery from there. I do expect that B3, after this drop, wherever it might take you now, it's not guaranteed that you go lower. It's very possible that you could find support again at the golden ratio. You could find some kind of double bottom that's been going around lately. Maybe you find a slightly lower low and you don't go all the way down to 00267, 0025, something like that. But at least as of now, I'm under the assumption that you will. Getting oversold, rejecting the 40 area, coming back down like this, it makes me think that you're going to go lower. So I guess that's the call, is to go down to about 0.002677 to 0.0025. That's the expectation right now. And then at that point in time, I'll be buying some B3. I'm actually going to set up some buy orders there after this video. I'm going to set up some buy orders down there. If we bounce from here and we start to go higher, I'm more than happy to buy at higher prices. But I'm just assuming, until that happens, I'm assuming that we go to the downside. If we close, not wick, but close any given day above 0038758, if we can close above there, then I will be under the impression that we're no longer going lower and that we're going higher. But until then, I'm sticking with this idea of 00267 to 0025, okay? Afterwards, we're going to see some dramatic recovery. I believe that B3 has a lot of potential, you guys. I think once the gaming narrative comes out for crypto, I mean, it's already out, but once it's, let's say, hyped up, once it sees a lot of popularity and momentum behind it, I was going to say motivation, momentum behind it, I think that's going to cause a rally across the whole crypto gaming space, and B3 will probably do very well with that. Looking at the current market cap being at about $70 million, you guys, to get to this is not a small request, but just to get to a 100x, that would be about a $7 billion market cap. And that's not given to any crypto, but $7 billion is not asking the world of any coin, right? There's a lot of coins that, as long as they provide some sort of relevance, have fundamental values, and they get the right narrative running for them, which I think this one could have all those things, you can see some phenomenal growth. And it's coins like this that do see 100x's, multi-100x's. It's coins like this that are, at relative low points, that are probably at the more opportunistic moments to buy. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but I keep having to hold myself back from putting money into this thing. And so far it's worked out. But the main reason why I haven't bought at this point in time yet is because I do assume Bitcoin's going to go a little bit lower. So I'm just going to wait until that resolves itself. If we keep moving sideways, if we don't really go too much lower, and Bitcoin over the next 2 days drops and then it comes back up or something like that, if we see some sideways movement over the next few days, I'll probably just buy in at these prices or higher if I have to. Or over the next few days, if we get to those lower prices that I assume we're going to, I'll definitely be buying there. I'm going to set up some buy orders there actually right now after this video. 00267 to 0025, yeah, something in that area there, probably layered throughout that area, even a little bit above. It's my style to buy a little bit above target zones, so that's just, a little bit of my opinion, not financial advice, just my opinion as to what I'm going to do. Looking at the 4-hour time frame here, 4-hour looks like it wants to go lower. Absolutely it does, yeah. And let's see if this agrees with this relative fib. low. That was not the low. We're gonna get it though. Low to high. Low to high. Nope, that's not the low either. There we go. Low to high. 0028, 0027, 00254. Yeah, all that area there. That makes sense to me. Probably these lower areas below the 1414 and around the 1618. So that's good to know. Sure, you could go lower, but that's kind of my expectation at the moment, I suppose. Afterwards, we're going to go higher. We're going to go a lot higher. I don't know if it's appropriate to draw a fib right now from a high to a low because I don't know exactly where we're going to go. In all fairness, if you look at this low here, we put the 1272 right here with this low. As we go lower, you can see the 1272, it only goes higher. So if we do see lower targets, and I think that we will, that 1272 and every subsequent target afterwards is only going to be higher. So this might not provide an accurate read, but it'll at least provide a conservative read, if that makes sense, as to the target areas to expect. So just at a minimum, from the current price, let alone from lower prices, but let's say it does go lower, but just from the current price alone at 20328 right now, 30328, sorry, 20328. There are 3 zeros, but it's 0.0032864. From this current price, the minimum target would be about a 10x, almost a 10x. 871%, 900% is a 10x, so we're very close to a 10x at that, and I would think that any price lower than this would promote a 10x. That's just your minimum target, right? That's the minimum target. What if you complete the thought? What if you're at 70 million now? You see a 10x from here, that puts you at 700 million. And instead of stopping at 700 million, you want to go to 100 to 1 billion, something like that. Maybe that's a psychological area of attraction and resistance from a market cap standpoint. So we go there. So what's another, that would be another like 45% from there, right? But from there, something like that. Yeah, I mean, we really could go all the way up to the 1414. And see something that's overall on the lines of like a 12x to maybe a 13, 14x, something like that could happen. Yeah, absolutely by the end of this next move. And we could go higher. It's very possible. What if we don't stop at a $1 billion market cap? What if we crush that and we see a multi-billion-dollar market cap by the end of this next move? That's very possible. It's not given. Not every crypto that's worth less than $100 million is going to just rip above to billions and billions of dollars by the end of this next move, by the end of June, which is when I'm expecting this next move to reach full maturity. But I think there's going to be some that see some immaculate growth, and this could definitely be one of them. As far as what my target would be, as far as what I'm expecting, I suppose I do like the 4.2 cent area. So here we are at 0.00328 right now for B3. I think that 4.2 cents, that area should be considered. And if not there, 6 cents. 4.2 to 6 cents, that's my target area. That gives you anything from about like a 12, 13x to potentially something as much as like an 18x from here, from the current price, let alone if we go lower. If we go lower, you guys, we go down to the areas that I'm expecting we go to. This isn't even as low as I think we're going to go, but that turns it into about a 15x, 16x minimum to like a 22, 23x potential at 6 cents. That's pretty good. Let alone if we go higher, but I doubt that we go higher. Although 10 cents, don't get me wrong, that's a nice psychological level of resistance. I'm sure we will get there and find resistance there at some point, but just maybe not by the end of this next move, maybe not by the end of June. But you never know. Coins like this is crypto, you guys, and crazy things can happen. Crazy things can happen, especially with new coins that have lower liquidity, lower market caps. It's easier for things to get moved through with less money on stuff like this. So if it gains the right attention, if the gaming narrative really comes out and people like what B3 is doing, it might make sense that this thing outperforms any of my expectations, which are already pretty high, but we'll see how it goes. I've got nothing else for you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.